Happy Friday, everybody. We made it to the weekend. Welcome to Rainy Nights. As Serenity Kitty has pointed out, I have an unusual glare on me today. Right after work, my boss offered, because it was a crappy week, my boss offered to bring us out for some beers and some food, and he bought me a whole lot of beer, which is why I almost missed the Campout tonight. So, hey, I mean, the live stream. So, hey, everybody. Which is also why I probably will have to go pee very shortly. I drank way too many beers tonight, courtesy of my boss. So yeah, Scott, thanks a lot. And so Scott has said, make sure I don't dedicate tonight's live cast to James the Cheshire Cat, which is our new head of all things Webby and complex in our business. So. Welcome, everybody. Tonight we're here to talk about Forgotten Angels. And along with Forgotten Angels, Adventures of Key Fob. Welcome in. So,
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Hold on. You're missing something.
Oh.
Yes, you promised me a Brainy next time you came on.
Yep.
Hold on. Paul, welcome in. She told me she would be. I remember this video you sent me. She said she would be on tonight. All right, we'll cut her free. It's Friday night. I'm sure maybe she's not ready. I'll cut her some slack.
Oh, the cheat's going. Hang on.
Come on, Brady.
Yep. Oh.
Was like, do I have food in my feet?
Yeah, we don't want to talk to Key Fob. We want to talk to you.
I know, right? I'm the better half.
The brains in the family. Yes. I know how this
I
goes.
to be blonde before, so I don't know. No offense to blondes, but yeah, I have my times, my moments.
Excellent. So I know what he's gonna say. So Campout's coming up. So what are you excited for about the Forgotten Angels Campout coming up in, what is it, like 2 months and a week from
I
now?
know, it's insane. I'm excited that we're going to be closer and that we don't have to like die to save money to get there. And of course, I'm excited to see everybody. I love Forgotten Angels. If you have not been and can go, it's such an amazing place. And it's hard to explain how they just make such a sense of family. Like you truly feel when you go there, like your family. And it's amazing how David and Cindy don't just help the young men and women there, but like they've helped me in my personal journey. And I could see how they positively influence so many people. I'm like, I just want to be like Cindy when I grow up.
Yeah, I've seen people. I mean, we have sometimes 300, 400, sometimes 500 people at the camp out, and I've seen Cindy take an individual person and swoop them aside.
Yes.
Because
and David, yeah,
and
David does
David
the
too.
same.
David gives hugs. Cindy gives him brains. So yeah.
It's so funny because my mom will come with me, and David literally treats her like his own mother. And I remember at the last camp out, he hugged her and he looked at her in her eyes. It's just like he does to everybody. When he speaks to somebody, he truly looks them in their eyes and he's like, "You're so beautiful," and she just giggled, and he was like, "Why are you laughing? I'm serious." Like you could tell, like he just truly wanted her to understand how much he adored her, and he treats everybody like that, So I'm gonna let K-pop jump back on because I always get weird and awkward in lives. And
if you have to, okay.
Brady's like, "Go." I know. Well, see, he's like, "You do your own lives," but see, when I do my lives, I'm tarot reading, so I don't have to like think of what to say. My higher power leads it. So
so since I've got you on,
my jam, since I got you on, speaking of higher power.
Well, since I've got you, so during the camp out, I am going to be trying to make extra money for Forgotten Angels by doing karaoke. So I'm gonna do kamikaze karaoke. Have you thought about doing some tarot for donations to Forgotten Angels?
I was, and I also was like, I've been crocheting like a nerd. the nerd I am. So I was thinking of crocheting some things. And then, yeah, I was thinking of that actually. Like maybe just making like a little sign like, hey, tarot for fundraising, you know? Yeah.
I'm
I
gonna
know a
do
lot
it.
of people, yeah, I know a lot of people that go do different things to help raise money. So for sure, I'll bring my decks and
That'd be
keep up
awesome.
this
I
money when
bet
I see my
I'll pay.
decks.
I'll pay for a tarot reading. I think it'd be awesome.
Yes, I have two decks. One is a doggy deck, and it's pretty hardcore. It does reverse reading, so it will call out my character defects so fast. And then my other deck is the Crystal Power Tarot
Oh,
deck, and it's a little more nice and softer spoken. So I'll have to bring both. If you know Sterling Will, you can ask Sterling Will. He has gotten some personal reads that are like, dude. And Toga, I think Toga was the other one.
Tolga.
But they keep letting me read for them. It's so funny. I'm like, are you sure?
when you said doggy deck, I thought maybe you do tarot doggy reading, and it's like, okay, in your future, I see you sniffing a butt. Let's see.
Right? That's exactly like, and I even named it Doggy Tarot. And I was like, people are going to think I'm like reading for dogs. And sure enough, I got my first in person client and they called me and they were like, can you read for my and I was like, okay, this is how I got the name. And they still ended up wanting a reading, thank God. And it was a really good reading. No, for themselves once I explained it. But it was a good in-person reading. It was my first one. And they were very generous with their tips. So it was good. It's fun. Overall, it's just a spiritual thing, you know?
Be absolutely awesome. I'll do it. I'll do it.
Yeah, I'll bring them. All right, great.
Do it.
Y'all, I'm gonna let Keepoff jump back on.
All right,
Thank
keep
you.
on.
He's like, give me the baldy bag.
Let's do it.
Oh, wait.
All right.
All right.
I couldn't hear any of that.
I gotta close this out. I keep getting pop-ups. All right. So, all right. So tonight, obviously, okay. Now we can ask you, what are you looking forward to for the camp out?
Well, I've already put my name down as a volunteer for the trash crew. But the thing I'm looking forward to the most this year is the 18-hole races, the ride-on wheel races, because I purchased my own unit to enter in for the races.
So obviously, I bought a unit, and then I have been, I'm like this close to taking the Sportster down because it's a combination of a dare, bet you won't, and when I was young, I did. Okay, so I'm 55, and even though these people go, I used to ride Sportsters, you know, a couple thousand miles, it still doesn't register in my head. Yeah, I did too, but now I'm 55. So somewhere in the back of my mind, I'm like, I can ride a Sportster to Florida. It's only 850 miles. I can do that. No problem.
Yeah, well, you
So
can
we'll
do
see.
it. Doesn't mean you have to.
Yes, but if you can do it, I think along with the midlife crisis. So a midlife crisis isn't what everybody kind of thinks it is. A midlife crisis is when you start thinking, am I really old, or are there things I can't do anymore? So, to some people, that means there's so many things I haven't done, I want to do them. You know, and to me, I've done so many things, but again, there's things that now I'm going back through that. Can I still do those things? And I think that's where, you know, you read about this 79-year-old man gets to the top of Everest and freezes to death in an ice pocket. That's that guy. That dude has done it before. You can tell. He just wanted to do it again. He's like, it was so good when I was 30 or 40. I want to do it again. So that's me. That's where I'm sitting right now. So, David Tyler, you're supposed to be in the chat. What are you doing, man? What are you doing?
Yeah, I see him in the comments. David,
Yeah, he was supposed to be in the chat. I seen the link and everything. All right, so in the chat, you guys, if there's a question you guys want to know about Forgotten Angels, I have been 5 or 6 times. I can't even remember anymore. Keefob's been a few times. If there's something you want to know, if there's something you want to know about what to bring to the camp out, what you need, what to expect when you get to the camp out, ask us. We know. We know these things. I have only missed the very first one and the last two. One for weather. The first one because I had no clue what it was. The last October one I missed because of the hurricane, and I didn't know what it was going to be like when I got there. And then I just changed jobs, so I couldn't go to the March one. But I have been to a lot. So if you guys want to know, and David Tyler is right here in the chat, so if you guys have questions, what to bring, what to expect, what you don't need, what you can get, that's a mile away at Walmart, ask us those questions. So
I want to ask
we're
David
here.
if he's going to be at the races August 23rd. That's what I want David to answer that.
All right. Paul Beardsley's asking about a burn kit. We have a first aid kit there. We set it up probably 2 or 3 years ago. We have a boo-boo unit, which consists of, used to be Parker the Coyote, me, and 9 Meals on 2 Wheels. So there are actually, I'll tell anybody that goes, if you go and you get hurt, ask for Rainey, ask for 9 Meals, ask for Cindy. I'm sure she's good. And Cindy can find anybody. Cindy can find anybody. So if you tell Cindy you're hurt, she'll find somebody to fix your boo-boos, I promise you. Maybe I should put that on top. So that is my boss, if you guys are wondering. He's from New Jersey. I don't know if you can tell. But
Jersey.
He has a question and he's trying to figure out how to ask it.
Skittles is telling you to bring your Power Wheels for the race.
How am I going to get the Power Wheels on the motorcycle?
Just ship it. What's the problem? Ship it to my house and I'll trailer it down for you.
I'd have to ship it. Too much work. How about if I tear it apart, carry just the motors? When I get there, I buy another Power Wheels from Salvation Army, and I just try to get one fixed up while I'm there.
I'm going to tell you where I got mine, and maybe that will incite you a little bit better. We were down in Mayo, Brantford area, shopping for property. Found the property, by the way. But we went by a recycling center, and they had 2 of them sitting beside one of the dumpsters. So we just rode in, and they said, you can get one of them. You can't get both. So
Well,
we went in, grabbed one of them, and now it's ours.
there was a girl when I bought this one, when she found out what I was doing, she had 2 more for sale, and she's like, just take them. And I'm like, I only got room for 1. So, yeah, Sick Bastard. Sick Bastard is excited that Scott is from New Jersey. Scott's my boss. Excited that he's from New Jersey. You guys that don't know, anybody that's anybody in my text, when you text me, you've got your own ringtone. So that's the thing. So obviously, Scott's from New Jersey, so his is New Jersey 101.5. That's why that is. All right. We'll see what kind of questions we got in the comments here. Scott wants to know, do I need a motorcycle to go to Forgotten Angels? No, you don't. You can show up, and you don't have to have a tent. So the majority of us who are, I don't know if it's because we're lazy or it's because we're studious. I'll put it both ways. But I like to get there, set up my tent, because one, the party starts at 7, 8 in the morning sometimes, and it goes until 2 or 3 or 4 in the morning, and I don't want to miss any of it. So I have a tent where I can stumble to my tent, fall asleep, wake up when I hear people getting rowdy. You don't have to have a motorcycle. You can either stay in a tent, you can stay in a hotel, you can get a B&B. David did have a couple of Airbnbs that he had actually tried to get going. I don't know if he's still got them or not. But you do not need a motorcycle to go to the Campout. You can show up in anything. If you're in a car, we do request. If you're in a car, park in the front, because in the back is where all the motorcycles and the tents are. Motorcycles take up that much space. Cars take up a whole lot more. So we ask that you park in the front if you come in a car. If you're in a motorcycle, come to the back, but leave a path open. And by no means, never, ever block off the porta potties. Because if you block the porta potties, they can't empty them, and then everything smells like shit. Don't block the porta potties. That's all we ask. Next question. Buck Brown, welcome in. Who else we got in here that I've missed because I've been running my mouth? Okay, let's see who else in the chat tonight. Skittles. Hang on, I gotta... Okay, so Millie came earlier and said that she may or may not be able to get back in time. We'll forgive her if she doesn't. Sick Bastard, Serenity Kitty, Adventures of Key Fob, obviously. Dan Pillion Style. What is wrong with this thing? So I have another monitor that I'm doing my chat on, and I'm monitoring the chat, and it doesn't want to play my reindeer games today.
I'm sorry, I got the chat pulled up on my phone so I can see it.
All right, so if you can see the chat, because mine is fighting me now. Paul Beardsley, Jerry, the captain, is in. Who else? Neil, Serenity Kitty, Sick Bastard.
Jason Ghosts.
Chasing Ghosts is in. I didn't see her pop in. Chasing Ghosts, my sister from another mister. Welcome in.
Dry Heat Doug's here.
Dry Heat Doug, Paul Beersley. If I say your name twice, it's because I'm dumb. This is Scott's fault.
Mikey.
If I say your name twice, it's because Scott bought me way too many beers tonight. I didn't mean to. He made me. He's my boss. I got to do what he says. Brainy, obviously.
That checks out.
You got to do what your boss tells you to, especially. And, of course, no more porta potties. Okay, good.
What?
So don't block the stage.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, cool. Sick Bastard says nobody wants to smell shit. Absolutely. All right, so they've been working on the. So when I came last March before last, they had started building in the built-in toilets, and then we had the built-in showers in the back. Here's a question for David, because I don't know, because I hadn't been there in 2 campouts. Do they have just the 2 showers now, or have we expanded the showers? Do we actually have? We have 7 flushable toilets. Oh my God, it's like a palace now. What the hell?
Dude, if you haven't, been there over a year, that's right, man.
Last time I was there, we had the 4 flushable toilets. Is it amazing? So we had 4 toilets and the 2 showers in the back, and I thought it was funny because so Saddle Tramp's wife Kim, every time I'd go to brush my teeth, shave, or take a shower, she was there, either in the toilets or in the shower, and it was funny as fuck. And I was like, you need to go tell Corey that I'm here every time you go to the shower. Tell him I'm stalking you in the shower. It'd be funny, which I wasn't, but it'd still be funny to say. All right. So anybody got any questions? It looked like everybody that's in the chat right now has been there a few times, except maybe who in the chat has not been to a camp out yet? That's what we need to know.
Well, you figured that out. I'm gonna kind of back your story up a little bit, because we've been to the camp out 3, maybe 4 times, right? And every time we have been, we have failed to come with an operational tent. Like the first year we showed up, started setting up. Oh crap! We don't have stakes for our tents. We don't have poles, so we can't. All right, David, you got a tent? Yeah, here you go. Use these. No problem. Next year we show up with a tent and poles, but the poles don't go to that tent. And then last March we showed up with poles and what we thought was the right tent, but it was just a canopy.
Dry Heat Doug is in. So I actually have a tent that I left down there. Even though I have this big tent, I'll leave the little one down there just in case something happens. And somebody always needs a tent. The last time I was actually there, was when Red was there, and somebody, for some reason, didn't think they were going back. Somebody left without them. And when I went in at like 2 o'clock in the morning, these 2 girls are inside the Yingling hut. And they're like, hey, you wouldn't happen to know somebody that has like spare sleeping bags or something? I'm like, yeah, you need a sleeping bag? And they're like, well, the person we were with left, and we're like here like by ourselves now. And I'm like, shit, I got blankets, I got a spare tent, I got whatever you need. Because luckily I'd set one up for Red, and she used it the first night, and then the second night she got a tent of her own. So I had a spare tent already set up. So I'm like, yeah, jump in the tent. And I had blankets, I had some mats and stuff. So yeah, very very cool that everybody helps everybody else out there. So definitely, if you show up and you forget something, I promise you somebody will have it. Whether it be toothbrush, toothpaste, blankets, beer, plenty of it. Alcohol, I'm not going to say we're all a bunch of alcoholics there, but I will say everybody has alcohol, so take of that what you will. But you will be very well taken care of there.
A couple bottles of whiskey or rum or something to donate to the bar.
Yeah, I'll always bring ceremonial whiskey. So there's always some kind of sharing whiskey, because I'm a sailor at heart, man. I did 20 years in the Navy. I'm all about sharing that whiskey to bond, get bond in there. So
that reminds me, I did another of my Tales of the Navy today.
I didn't see it because I've been gone all day.
Shame. Well, I haven't released it yet. I just recorded it.
David says I have 2 chairs there too. So chairs, tents, whatever you need is probably going to be there. So. Buck Brown says he will not be donating a bike this year for the first time in I don't know how many years now. I'm just kidding. Buck, you've done enough. It's fine. Don't worry about it. So yeah, I'm on the fence. So obviously I got donated last night. Sterling said he needs a ride from the Walmart parking lot. So I may go ahead and bring the BMW just to save my own back. That'll be my excuse for not taking the Harley, I guess. But yeah, I'll definitely be there this time. I kind of feel bad. I did try to get shirts made before I came this time, and it's just there's still almost 3 months left. I may figure something out. We'll see. You have a new beer sponsor. Who is sponsoring the beer now? Do tell.
And Brady's right. I did have some problem with the Lowrider ST. I was trying out the solar panel charging devices, and turns out they don't do real good at actually charging your bike enough to drink it.
Probably not.
Not even too long.
It never fails. Somebody always has bike problems, and there's always, if you can walk around that campground, about any time there's a bike torn apart because somebody's helping somebody fix a bike. And if somebody breaks down, and I've seen this happen a million times, and regretfully, the one that was down, I think the longest, Corey, Saddle Tramp, his bike was down most of the weekend. And one weekend he got it fixed. The time before that he came down, he didn't get his bike fixed. And damned if somebody didn't say, well, just take my bike home with you. I drove down here anyway. I trailered it. You can trailer it back, and I'll pick it up at your house. That's just the kind of people that go to Forgotten Angels. They're giving souls. Now, obviously, this is probably the biggest charity I've ever been involved in. You know, and you look at, like, especially around here, you look at St. Jude's right here. But there's such a weird, I don't know, there's a thing about it. You don't feel like you're giving because you never actually get to see where the money goes. If you go to Forgotten Angels, you see exactly where the money goes. You're there, you see it, you see the kids that are involved in it. I will never forget TJ going to eat at the Panera's. When I went down there, he was at Panera's. I think he's in the Coast Guard or the Navy now. I can't remember what he joined, but when I was there, he was working at Panera's, and the lady behind the counter, when he walked in, he goes, oh, that's one of the guys from the Campout. She goes, go take a break. He goes, I just took a break. She goes, no, go take a break. Go talk to him. And she let him go because she knows what a big thing this is to these kids to have these people come in and help out and, you know, and donate their time and stuff. And, you know, even the people they work for, the people that spend their time with them know how big a deal this is, that how much it helps these kids. Because I'm sure these kids, when they're at work, they talk about where they came from, what happened to them in the past, and where they are now. And all of a sudden, these kids who had no hope of a future or no hope of going anywhere, no hope of doing anything, all of a sudden have a future that's opened up to them. And all of a sudden the light comes on and these kids know something they can do. I mean, we've seen it. Junior, I tell Junior's story all the time. You know, the first time I met Junior, he probably didn't say 2 words the entire weekend. Now, Junior will talk your ear off because now he has a purpose. He has a plan. He wants you to use his business, you know. Junior is going places. So it's
he knows how to find his happiness.
Yeah, he had to find a future. He had to find his future. And Forgot he just gave that to him. So I'm talking my ear off. I'm not looking at the chat. I hope you guys aren't asking questions.
No, you're telling the story that needs to be heard.
Yeah.
No matter what's going on in the chat, right? You're saying the real purpose for Forgotten Angels, taking these young men and women and bringing them in and giving them a sense of direction, a sense of strategies to figure out life, to take the big hits and still come out looking for what makes them happy.
Giving them a purpose.
Everyone needs to hear. Yeah.
Yeah. And these are kids, I mean, like Junior, you know, when I first heard Junior, you know, it was like the first time I was there, he didn't say much. Second time I was there, he started talking about where he came from and the house he was in and how there were like 12 beds in this house. And he had to stay in his room because all the other kids were scared of him because he's, you know, he was, how do you explain it? Kind of a brooding personality. And I think at that time, he'd shut everything off. I don't think he thought he had a future. And you look at a kid who's, you know, about to be 18 and he's about to hit the streets and not have a place to go, a place to live, a place to work, and the things that could be going through this kid's mind, I'm sure were probably pretty dark or at least murky, and you know, it's just scary to look at, to know this kid knows he's not going to do anything with his life. Then he gets to Forgotten Angels and he's very doubtful that, yeah, these people won't help me either. And along the way, a few months later, a half year later, sometimes these kids, you know, they're in that hole for a while, and all of a sudden they break out. And when they break out and they realize somebody's going to love them, somebody's going to take care of them, somebody's going to be there for them, somebody's going to give them a birthday cake, they're going to get Christmas presents, people are going to hug them and love them and tell them that they love them, their life changes. And all of a sudden they realize they're a human being and anything is possible, and they're going to go places in their life. And that is life-changing. And if you don't get anything else from this, know that if you donate to this organization, you're going to change a life.
Yep.
If you give one, like David says all the time, if you can only donate one, you know, if you donate a $20 bill, it may not seem like much, but I've seen David, and David's told me he'll go pick up kids that say, I just need a ride to here, or I just need to go somewhere. $20 is a tank of gas to go pick this kid up and take him and bring him to Walmart and get him clothes and change his life. $20 to do that. You know, it doesn't take much. You can't say that about these places overseas that are given, feed the homeless, feed the hungry, feed the people in, that money never gets there. I promise you. I've seen it. You give to Forgotten Angels, you're giving it to here, it's going to America, it's going to some kid that really, really needs it. And I say kid, these kids are over 18, but they're still kids. They've never learned how to be an adult. They've never known how to grow up. A lot of these kids, like David was telling me, one of them didn't know how to tie his shoes. So in their minds, in these kids' bodies, they're still kids. They're an adult with a child's soul. And they have never learned to do all these things, and all of a sudden they've got parents. I'm sure maybe sometime, maybe it doesn't get tired to David, but raising a child over and over and repeating the process, maybe that's what feeds, I guess it feeds my soul too. When I'm helping people, when I'm doing things for people, when I'm teaching people, it feeds my soul. Maybe that's what David can, he's here in the chat, maybe he can say. But this is what these kids need. They need somebody to love them and to teach them and to care about them, and that's what they get there. So
they do. I mean, and that's it. David and Cindy and the community that they create down there, what they're able to teach these young men and women is a household's worth of knowledge. It's a family's worth of knowledge. They're getting tips on how to work on motorcycles, how to work on your car, how to handle your finances, how to work on computers, and
how to ride a motorcycle. Yeah,
exactly. I can't say how many people I've seen David, at least 3 or 4. I've seen David myself teach how to ride a motorcycle.
And that's for Florida. That's a big thing because you take a kid who's never had a driver's license, never had a job, doesn't know how to do a college entry form. You teach this kid how to ride a motorcycle. It's the cheapest form of transportation. It's the cheapest insurance. It's cheapest on gas. Now all of a sudden this kid can get to a job. This kid can get to a job. He can make money. Now this kid can make money. Now he's got a future. Now he can go to college. This motorcycle will get this kid everywhere he needs to go. It's Florida. Hardly ever rains, and if it does rain, 30 minutes later the sun's out and it's 100 degrees again. Exactly. Motorcycles are perfect in Florida. And it's a perfect environment. And it's just... It's the gateway transportation for these kids to change their life, and that seems kind of simple. I think it was it TJ or was it another kid that had the moped, and he went everywhere on that thing. I think it was TJ. Was it TJ? David can tell us, but something as simple as a moped can change this kid's life. But let me read through the chat here. David says American Icon Brewery is brewing a blend specifically for the 10th anniversary Campout. That'd be cool. Collector's edition. Julie Smith says, fishing out my day. Want to stop by and say hi. Julie Smith, I didn't see you get in the chat, but welcome in. She's probably already gone by now because I talked for the last 30 minutes. Journey Jerry says I may attempt a turn and burn on the Grom for the 10th anniversary. Hang on, Jerry, are you going to try to ride the Grom down from Dola Dama Duda? We said, what's the name of the city again? What was the name of the city again? Jerry, where are you from? Dahlonega. Jerry, where are you at? Dahlonega. Watch me mispronounce some shit from a city I'm not from. I promise you I will.
Jesus, man.
Dude, I'm not from there. I have a perfect excuse. Hell, I live right next to a street that I haven't said the right name in. We've lived here almost 15 years. I still can't pronounce the name of the street.
Jerry, just get to my house. We'll trailer you down from here.
Yeah, you ride the Spirit of Knievel down there. That'll be a feat. That'll beat the Chinese superbike that came down. Bryce couldn't tie his shoes. Yeah. But yeah, it's just, we're not telling stories here. This is real stuff.
All right. Real people.
2-4. Welcome in. Dragon Paradox. Everybody's doping in right now. DJ. Okay, DJ. See, I can't remember a name. I can't remember a city. I can't remember a street. That's just me.
That's how it works.
Yeah, DJ was the one that worked at
Panera, right?
Panera, yeah. I suck at this, but hello everyone. I love you all, even if I can't pronounce the name of your cities. So I will be
That's what I'm
taking
here
off. So the plan right now is Gma is going to actually come down here, spend the night with me. We're going to leave Wednesday morning and try to drive down. And she's made a dare that sounded a whole lot like try and keep up. So I've rode with Gma before, and that's not an idle threat. Gma rides fast, and I've rode with her, and I've kept up with her, and she's a perfect riding buddy. But we're going to be riding together for 14 hours. She will probably just leave me behind. I probably see it.
I mean, if you take the Sportster, sure.
Even on the BMW, she's fast. We went to the airport to pick up my wife, and on the way back from the airport, she was doing 100 the whole way, and I was thinking, she's going to get me arrested, this old lady. She's got a cute face. She can get out of tickets. I can't. I'm an ugly fucker. I'll get a ticket. She said on the way down to, was it 4 campouts ago, she got stopped 7 times and got no tickets.
What?
Because they pull her over and they look at her, oh, it's an old lady. She could not have been going 110. That could not have been her. It must have been somebody else. And they let her go.
Was I really going that fast?
Was I going that fast? I'm sorry. I was reaching for my aspirin. And I'm sorry. I must have blipped the throttle. Oh, okay. And I know what these cops are. These cops are like, if this goes to court and she hobbles in and I try to say she was doing 120 on a Harley, the judge will never believe me. I see that story happening. Yeah. Gma, I think, is going to ride. She just got a street glide. She will not be riding the Dyna, I'm sure, possibly. I will be leaving. So Gma is going to meet me right outside of Memphis. So that'll be fun. All right, who has not been to the Campout has a question? Give me what questions you got. Junior's going to be at the Campout. Cool. Junior has turned into quite the businessman. Last time I saw him at the Campout, he was handing out business cards. He does he was doing a handyman thing. He may have stepped up. He might own his own business. He might have owned his own building now. I don't know, man. He just never stops growing. Yeah.
When you get that momentum, man, that's what they provide. They provide tools and strategies to figure out what you're good at, so you know what career you want to go into, so you can live and work what makes you happy. Once you do that, nothing can stop you.
Yeah, I think once you realize that there is no limit, there's no ceiling, you can go as far as you want to go. And they have something, as weird as it sounds, if you've been given everything all your life, you never have to try.
Right. And
once you realize working for something will actually get you something, and working for something harder will get you more, I think it motivates you. You know, it's if anybody has ever known anybody that grew up overseas, an immigrant, somebody that came from a foreign country where they had nothing and all of a sudden they get here. I work with a lot of guys from Honduras, Guatemala, Mexico, Cuba, and when they get here and all of a sudden they realize that they can actually work and they can get money, and the more they work, the more money they get. These guys are trying to put in 70, 80 hours a week. Yes. Well, you know, all the guys that from America, they're like, oh, I'll get my 40 and I'll go home, you know. So it is what it is. But yeah, they work so hard. And I think that's something like these kids, you know, they've never had anything, and all of a sudden they realize if they work, they can get it. And they want to work more.
And nobody's going to take it.
And nobody can take it from you, because all of a sudden something you work for is yours. I remember this kid, David, you can tell me which one it was, but we went to Indy Ridge donated a bunch of boots. And when Dave went to give him the boots, he was like, so do I have to give them back? He's like, no, these are yours. Did they send you more boots?
Yeah.
Okay. But this kid asked David, he goes, so do I have to give them back? And David was like, no, these are your boots. He goes, like, they're mine? Like, they're really mine? I don't have to give them back at all? And David was like, no, they're your boots. Don't we, you know? And then David told me the story. He says, yeah, this kid, when he was going from these foster homes, he'd go to a foster home, and when he went to leave, they're like, okay, here's the stuff you came with, give everything else back, and you get to leave with one pair of shoes, a pair of underwear, some pants, and a shirt. That's what you get to leave with. You have to give everything else back. So this kid, all of a sudden, realizing that something is his, he can keep it, nobody will ever take it away from him. That's life-changing. That's a different mentality than this kid is used to working, of living in, you know. I don't know, man. It breaks my heart sometimes to hear these kids. There have been a couple of these of times at the campouts that I've heard these kids' stories and heard them talking, and I've heard David talking and Cindy talking. I've had to go out. I'd have to go off in a whole corner and cry because as bad as I thought my life was growing up, I've been on my own since I was 14. These kids literally have been on their own since they were born. They've had a place to live. They've had a place to stay. They've never belonged anywhere, and it's life shattering.
Well, then you add in the fact of how much work the parents or the foster parents are putting in against them.
Yes.
At the same time, at what point are you better off on your own because you don't have someone pouring toxic stuff back into your life? The change in them is absolutely mind blowing.
Yes.
There's no other way to put it.
And I gauge it all off of Junior because Junior was at the first campout I went to, and he's been at almost every campout that I've been back to. And watching him change and grow every time I go back, it's just I just can't fathom. He is literally, you would never, if you told me the guy that I met at the last campout I went to was the guy that I met like 4 years ago, I would never believe it. Like that couldn't have been the same guy. No, it's not the same guy. No way. No way. Physically, mentally, spiritually, this kid has grown so much. He's an absolutely different person. It's insane.
Gaining that happiness into your life changes you. I mean, you look at someone, you could have twins, right? And the one who finds happiness will always look younger, brighter than the one who can't find happiness.
Yep, absolutely. David, you're supposed to be jumping in the chat. You're supposed to be our mentor tonight and teaching us how to do life. What's hanging up, man? Come on in. David's on his way back from Sturgis. Skittles is too. I was gonna try to get them both in, but they've probably been riding all day. I get it. They're probably tired. So, but they're here for you guys to ask questions. Somebody's gonna ask some questions. Somebody ask questions. Come on.
I haven't seen one yet.
I've had a couple of questions and they were pretty easy. So Sterling asked last night. I'll go with the questions people have asked me in the past. So Sterling was asking, was it last night or was it the day before? Sterling was asking if could he bring his bobtail in? Is there room to park a rig? No. But what there is a Walmart that's not even maybe a mile away, a mile and a half away. And if you park down there, somebody will come get you. And there's a trailer lot, they said, down by the loading docks, like the port of Tampa, which also isn't very far down. I can't remember what road it is, but it's down there somewhere. But you can definitely get a ride there. There are probably going to be people shuttling people. You can Uber there. You can just call somebody, hey, come get me. If you get on the Forgotten Angels page and tell somebody that you need a ride, somebody will come get you. Somebody will come get you. They will make your life awesome.
If you're on the way and your bike breaks down, there's trailers there. All somebody has to do is hook up to it, take off, bring you back. It's that simple.
Let me send David the link again. I sent it to him a couple of days ago. Let me see if I can find it.
And with what Jason Ghost said, where she met so many of the folks at the campout, that's exactly the same for us. Me and Sick Bastard worked together side by side, like half the campout. And it wasn't until he was walking past our campsite and Brainy was saying my name loud, and he heard it, and he was like, "Well, Keefaw, where's Keefaw? Where's he at?" And I'm like, "What are you talking about? I'm right here, man." And that's when me and him made a connection that he was Sick Bastard and I was Keefaw, and we've been talking online for months, right? And working together side by side, and still didn't know who each other was. It's amazing how you meet folks in them.
All right, David, I sent you the link.
Last camp out I was at with you, Randy, you were walking around with a bottle of Johnny Walker Blue.
Black. Shit, I wish I had some blue. That's my next birthday. I'm about to turn really old, and I'm getting a bottle of Johnny Walker Blue. I'm gonna make that sucker last at least 2 days.
I know I had so much of that Johnny Walker Red in Shanghai. It's a little...
The black. So Johnny Walker Black is good. And then I have one called Russell's. Russell's 10-year is probably my favorite whiskey. And a lady at the Harley dealership, she's the media manager. Her dad was in the Navy, and he came down to visit for Father's Day because Harley was having a big Father's Day deal. And he's like, yeah, you got to try this Russell's. And they had a little bit up there at the Harley dealership, and I tried it, and I loved it. So now my favorite, if you guys want to buy something, do not buy it for me, buy it for the Campout. Russell's. Russell's 10-year whiskey is some very good stuff. So buy it for the Campout. We'll share it with everybody. I'm going to buy Golden Path. That looks like mead. It is mead.
That is mead.
It looks like
mead. To me, this Thursday or this Wednesday night at Dungeons and Dragons.
One of the guys who plays also makes his own mead, so he gave me all of it. Let's come to the Campout. They'll be at the bar.
I'm going to probably, definitely if I'm taking the Harley, nothing's coming with me. I'll have to buy it. But I know where all the good liquor stores in Tampa are because I go pick up during the Campout. I'll make sure I find something good, and I'll bring it for the Campout. It's share. I usually do the big sharing on Friday night and Saturday night. Thursday usually is when I want to go find some food. I definitely have to schedule a trip down to the Ride Factory because Joe and Drew and I can't remember the other guy's name. I am so sorry, but they told me they're saving something for me, so I have to go get it. So I will
Mike's
definitely
here.
do that.
Hey, Mike. What's up, buddy?
Mike Holmes.
Mike Holmes, yeah, he won't be able to make the camp out this year. I don't know if you know, Rainey. Mike Holmes is the one who won the V-Ride.
I have heard that,
And he
and
plays a really badass guitar.
Hey, David.
so David is here. How was Sturgis?
It was amazing.
I'll rub it in.
Okay, so it was only okay. You got to be careful because if I'm not rubbing it in, I'm rubbing it out, and I don't want to be rubbing it out.
Yeah, keep it under the desk. Next weekend is a little Sturgis down in Sturgis, Mississippi, and it's going to be about 90 degrees the whole weekend. However, I'm going to go anyway because it's became a thing for me. So I'll be there. Anybody you guys live near Sturgis, Mississippi that is near to Starkville, Mississippi, let me know. I will meet you there. It'll be freaking awesome. So David,
How far are you from there?
how far am I? About 3 hours.
Oh,
So David, tell us about Forgotten Angels.
Forgotten Angels, well, it's growing. We've got 2 new properties now. So our only concern is whether or not the new administration is going to continue to fund the aftercare or age-out programs. It's looking like they're going to be dropped, so we're going to have to try and find a way to fill that financial void, but we'll do it.
So what does that mean? Trying to get another C class going for a different organization, or?
Well, what it means is that when we purchased the property on Pearson, it's 3,700 square feet. That meant we were going to be able to put 9 single moms in there, but the funding for the mom is not there, but the funding for the child is. But we're not sure exactly how much that's going to be. So we're not going to allow money to prevent us from supporting these single moms. So we'll find a way. I always do.
Love always finds a way. Millie, welcome in. Speaking of love, Millie, hope you got both your legs today. Millie has this problem. So Millie lives in Australia and likes to swim with great white sharks. So she's always got something happening to her.
That's a bucket list item for me. I was talking to somebody just 3 or 4 days ago. Oh, it was Dwight that rode with me partway to Sturgis. I was telling him that I want to go to Cape Town in South Africa and swim in a cage with the great white sharks.
I'll wait to see.
I have seen too many cage accidents. I don't like the more stuff I see. I think so. I used to live in the ocean. I used to live in the Gulf of Mexico. I used to swim all the time in the Gulf. I used to swim in the Atlantic. I swim in the Pacific. Facebook and Instagram have made me scared to go in the water. I'm sure all this stuff. I'm sure all this stuff was there before, but no, Jaws didn't bother me. What bothered me is when I started seeing people. I grew up on the Gulf of Mexico. They had the man o' wars. They had the Vietnamese jellyfish. They had sharks. They had alligators. But when I started seeing these, like the saltwater crocodiles and the bull sharks, and how many there actually were, I saw this thing one time where they went and they did this X-ray, this sonar, right off the Gulf of Mexico, and how many bull sharks are waiting like 20 feet offshore. Giant
There's
ones.
tons of them.
15, 20-foot bull sharks. I didn't even know they got that big. But the Gulf is so
Well,
dark and muck, and they swim all the way up to Chicago. I lived in St. Louis, and I used to find them down by the docks all the time. It's insane.
Portuguese man of war leaves parts on you. Bull sharks take pieces off you. So I'll take the man of war. Thank you very much.
Yeah, it still hurts. I know I had a lot of friends that got stung by the Portuguese man, or the Portuguese man of war, not Vietnamese.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like getting bit by a brown recluse. It never stops until it stops.
Yeah, but you have to be a little bit negligent because Portuguese man of war don't swim to you. They pretty much float in your direction. As for the bull sharks and the mako sharks and the hammerhead sharks, the lemon sharks that bite, they come and get your butt.
Yeah.
And you can't swim away from them.
No thanks. So speaking of which, so you got you pulled one gator out of the pond, and there's still one left in there.
Yeah, there is one now, actually. But, we'll go sometimes 2 weeks without seeing him. And then, you have to catch him at the right time, at the right place, with the right weapon to do anything.
So he's being a good boy. He's staying away. Or girl.
He's
maybe.
being smart. As kind and gentle as Cindy is, she wants all alligators and crocodiles on this planet to be dead all at the same time.
I could understand that. Because I don't know, man. I guess I used to not be scared of stuff. And I think as I get older, I guess my mortality is starting to set in. When I was young, I thought I couldn't die. Now I just don't want to die. So maybe that's the difference. Scott says flesh-eating bacteria is also in Florida. So
Is it really?
Yeah. There's been a few cases on the west coast of Florida of the flesh-eating bacteria, and it's pretty freaking nasty. So no thanks.
How do I see the chats? I can't see the chats.
Chat is, are you on the phone or are you on?
I'm on my phone, yeah.
I think if you turn it sideways, you can see the chat. Or if you push show chat, it'll show under it.
Let's see here.
Let me do some research here. Let me open it on my own phone because it's something I really
It
don't
doesn't
think
say
about.
that. Let me click on my
Chat. Or if you push show chat. Okay, so if you go into the, so if you're on the live, you won't be able to see it. You gotta open it on a different device.
That's all right. If somebody asks a question, just read it out loud. And
I will throw it to you. All right, sir. Are there any questions? Millie obviously says, "How's my love? Or all my loves today? How are you today, David?
I'm good.
You've been on a motorcycle all day. Your day's perfect.
No, I'm not done yet. As soon as we're done here, I got another 300 miles to do.
Today?
Today.
Jesus. Okay. Well, thanks for stopping in.
That just doesn't bother me. I gotta go. I'm gonna go as far as Nashville.
Today? So where are you at now?
I'm just outside St. Louis, Missouri.
Okay. So I'm right outside of Memphis. Oh, where's our
Yeah,
music?
Memphis.
So you're outside of St. Louis. Damn, I used to live in St. Louis. See?
Yeah, 362 miles.
So you're trying to knock out some more. Jeez, who's in with you?
Yeah.
You still with Skittles, or did they break off?
No, they stayed an extra day. I left yesterday morning.
Okay. Well, sweet. That's a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun to see how much Colleen enjoyed herself. She's like a little 5-year-old.
Oh yeah.
On a motorcycle.
Yeah, I've been seeing her posts, and she's been texting me. And
Yeah.
It's, I don't know. Joe the Mountain Jedi, welcome in. I wanted to go to Sturgis, but I don't want to go to Sturgis during Sturgis week. I want to go another time. But I know I'm going to miss the excitement of it. But I mean, it's like it's definitely not, it's different than all the other ones. But at the same time, I'm not a very social person. I think my military time makes me want to get away from people.
Well, stay away from downtown. I wasn't sure where I was going to stay because, originally, Shep was supposed to come, but he I don't know if you guys knew, but he was rear-ended by an Escalade in one of our cars and injured his neck and his back, so he wasn't able to go. And so we were going to stay out at Devil's Tower. It was supposed to be $60 a night, and there was going to be like 5 or 6 of us. But one at a time, everybody, got injured or work got in the way or finances or what have you. So I ended up leaving by myself, and I hooked up with Dwight where was it? In Omaha. And then we drove the rest of the way. And so I stayed where he always stays, which was at a BLM, the Bureau of, what is it?
Land management.
Land management, yeah. And so it was free, but they had porta potties there that they came and cleaned and emptied every single morning. So I made sure that I was first one in. And then there was a swimming pool kind of rec center where we got for $15 for the month for showers. So I had showers. And then, there's a bunch of guys that are there that he knew that were cooking every night. Like my first night, I was in there like for 5 minutes and we were already eating fish tacos that were like freaking amazing. So actually, and then I cooked myself some burgers and sausages and stuff like that. So it was actually a very, very inexpensive trip. The one hotel that I got on the first night was the most expensive thing. And the Goldwing, sips gas. I get like 264 miles on one tank.
That's about what I get, depending on where I'm at, between 260 and 300 on the BMW. Yeah. And it's awesome compared to the Harleys and the Hondas I used to ride. That like every 100 miles you have big gas on them.
Yeah, and I was pulling a trailer too. All the Harley haters got to stop hating.
I will ride, like I said, I have rode everything, and some days I prefer the Harley, some days I prefer the BMW, some days when this Kawasaki gets going, I want to ride the shit out of it too. I am not a brand snob. There's just sometimes I'd rather ride up one bike than the other. I mean, it's...
Yeah, I'm with you. Life is happier on a Honda.
I was on the Honda today.
What's that?
I was on Crystal's Honda today.
Okay.
Wife unit, welcome in. Yeah, KOA has the best. I mean, say what you will, but I've had some really good campouts. If you can't get in a tent, and if it starts raining, you jump into a cabin. They're always ready for you.
Oh, really?
And they've got the coolest bathrooms. They've got laundry rooms. They've got snack rooms. They are set for somebody who you could probably live and go KOA to KOA and never miss life because everything's there. You'll never miss out. You'll never suffer. I promise you.
Yeah. My only issue with the KOA is that I usually ride until I'm tired, and by the time I'm tired, it's like 10, 11 o'clock, and you usually have to check in at a KOA at like 5 or 6.
You can still, so they have little envelopes at the door.
Oh, do they?
If you can find, you just take the envelope and you go put your money in it, fill it out, drop it off, and in the morning when they come by, they see somebody's in it, they'll know that somebody you did. Yeah, so yeah, you can check in after hours as long as there's a spot open.
I guess it was just the ones that I, in particular, that I was trying to get into in like Washington State. You had to be there by 6. A couple of the places there's a couple of KOAs in Canada that were the same thing. You had to be there by 5 or 6, at least to check in and to get a key or a code or something like that. So
okay, Scott is asking, so where is it and where can you stay down there? So
the camp out. Well, it's in the Campout area. And you can camp out on our 12-acre property. We've got lots of space. In fact, if you want, you can even camp out on the deck or the dock that's floating on the water.
I wouldn't recommend it. You could.
Yeah.
Somebody said they wanted to put sleeping bags out there, and I was like, nah, I don't think I would. 1, you could roll over in the water. 2, there might be some drunk people that might throw you in the water. Because they're at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, people start getting...
Yeah, there's some jokers.
It's less rowdy than a normal biker camp out, but there's still some jokers out there.
See, look at Matt laughing. He's like, "Hey, man, that's a good idea."
No, Matt.
No.
No, Matt.
No, I'm not talking about Matt as a sleeper. I'm talking about Matt as the dunker.
Okay. I mean, if someone volunteers,
Yeah,
sleep on it off.
you don't get the shenanigans you normally do at a biker camp out. Nobody pees on your tent. Nobody pulls your stakes up in the middle of the night. Although that might be kind of funny.
Not.
But they trip over your stakes at night. I do recommend you put lights out. This is what I do recommend. If you guys have tents, get the stream lights, so like the little battery pack that has like the little party lights on it, and put that around your tent. Yep, the fairy lights. I put those on my tent strings, and I put them on the door of my tent where at night, especially under the trees. If you're camped under the trees, you start looking for your tent. Every tent looks the same in the dark. If you can get some special lights, so I use the green clover lights. That way I know exactly where my tent is, and I can see it from all the way from the Yingling hut. I can see it all the way, and I can walk directly to it.
Yeah, I'll probably order some of those so they're available for people to get some. We'll just give them out because they're only like you can buy a pack of like 24 for like $10.
Yeah, I go to the Walmart. I go to Walmart, pick up. If I forget them, I'll go buy, and they always have a bunch of different ones, and which is I highly recommend you get different ones than everybody else. So otherwise, you're going to somebody else's tent.
That's what Kim and Corey did when we went to Barber. Myself, Shelby, and Doug. We stayed with them, and man, Kim had that place looking so cool. She had them all across the front, around the whole outside. She had these other little setup of lights. It was like so cool. I'm like, man, I'm jealous. She was like, well, just go buy yourself some lights. I'm like, oh, that's a good idea.
Walmarts are awesome. And so another thing for you guys who've never been, Walmart is like a mile and a half away. Yeah. Anything you forget, soap, toothpaste, anything, just go to Walmart and get it. You don't have to bring a whole lot of stuff, and that's, as motorcycle campers, that's a big thing. You can only carry so much on the bike. So go get a couple of party size, travel size toothpaste and soap and some little scrunchies and stuff. Use them for the weekend, throw them away at the end of the weekend.
Or just ask Cindy because we've got tons of that stuff.
Yeah, they're giving that away at the last camp out. Old shower bags and everything.
Yeah, we'll have those again this year. Towels. Actually, there's a company that's supposed to send us a bunch of flip-flops also with Forgotten Angels on them. 10th anniversary Forgotten Angels flip-flops. Yeah, so that'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, y'all should get some towels printed up and sell them at the camp out. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, we actually had some that were donated. They were donated I think the last day of February or something like that. So we just didn't have a whole lot of time to do that. But it's not that expensive to have them monogrammed. Put a little Forgotten Angels logo on them.
That'd be pretty neat. Skittles says tire blew out on the trailer. Thankfully, we brought the spare. David.
She brought the spare. That's okay. Just make sure you replace the spare.
Hopefully a spare tire.
What's that?
She said I'm assuming she means spare tire. I got lawn stakes too. I did to put around where the tent stakes were, so people kept tripping because I had a big tent and it had long strings on it. This year I'll have a smaller tent. I'll be there. I think I'm gonna be there by myself this time unless Diana decides to come. But yeah. Just be courteous when you're setting your tent up. Try to not take up a whole lot of room. Try to stack it with everybody else's tents. And
always set up behind the bathroom.
I set up under the big tree, not far from the little. Oh, the thing fell down. The one that the motorcycle used to be up on. That one fell down, didn't it?
No, it was the little pub that we had.
Over by the pub. Okay, I thought the one where the motorcycle fell. Okay.
No, that's still there.
My bad. Cool. Okay, then I'll be over there by that. Yeah, pack more socks and underwear, less pants and shirts. Yes, you can pretty much. And so I have traveling to clothes. I have be there clothes, and my going home clothes are usually my traveling to clothes. My be there clothes are usually warm weather clothes. My traveling to clothes are usually my cool weather clothes, because it always is cold on the way there and on the way back.
And we have a washer and dryer there now, also for people to use too.
Nice.
Yes, in the thumbnail, that is not me. That is. Yeah, so the thumb for the video was Jake, not me. No, I never had dreads. Wasn't me. Somebody was asking if that's old me. No, that was never me.
Oh, you look good in dreads, Mike.
I'd look good. I would look good in dreads. So yeah. All right. Somebody's got to have some questions.
Well, most people have been there, so most people know what's going on.
Yeah, this is. I mean, I love having the people that have been there, but this was more to train. Who in the chat has not been to the Campout other than Scott? Scott's watching and commenting to me directly. So Scott lives not far from the Campout. He has a house down there. So he's interested. I told him that he needs his AC changed out while he's there. I told him if he comes down during the Campout that I'd go help him because it's only like an hour away from the Campout, and it's a good reason to ride a motorcycle.
Any reason?
I might even be able to have people come help me. Why not?
More hands make light work.
More hands make light work, absolutely. And there's probably going to be beer involved. I will say this: Scott likes to buy beer for people. So and if you don't have anything better in a boss than that, that's awesome.
So Bucket asked in the comments who you're bringing to the race event the 23rd. The Living Legends in the North Florida Speedway.
I have not heard anything about it.
Is that the one that's put on by Billy Lane?
The next one by Billy Lanes is going to be up in, I want to say, Michigan somewhere.
His is Sons of Speed, right?
His is Sons of Speed, yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
This is the one Buck's doing. He's holding the race series Living Legends.
I've seen some of his Living Legends videos. I didn't know. Man, I'm old. It's hard for me to keep up with society. All you young people in your social media.
I know Buck's going to have me, Sterling Wheel, and Sick Bastard there to help cover different camera angles.
Where's it going to be?
North Florida Speedway.
North Florida. Let me do some research. I'll ask my boss if I can get off for it.
Well, David's supposed to be there. So the question was for him.
Oh, well, never mind. I won't go. Fine. See if I care.
I mean, you're more than invited, sir.
Did you say that it was the Legends one?
Yeah, Living Legends.
Oh, so this is the dirt track one. Yeah, that's Buck. Oh, yeah. I'll be there.
He was asking who all you're bringing with you.
Oh, myself, Shep, and Dave probably.
It's a nice mix. I get David, Army Dave, and Shep.
It's bad luck to bring Shep. That means he's going to have a wreck.
I just stay in another vehicle, that's all.
Put Shep in a collar, make him wear a helmet, gloves, maybe knee pads.
I think we should put him in a football helmet.
Yeah, no shit. I gave him shit
in the last accident, wasn't he?
Yeah, I gave him shit this last time. I was like, tell me you were at least wearing a helmet. He goes, no, I was in a car. And I go, tell me you were at least wearing a helmet.
No, he's bad luck, man. If you start to hear some thunder and lightning, run in the other direction. Actually, got to run away from Dave and Shep because Army Dave's been hit by lightning twice.
Good God.
I know, not a laughing matter. I can laugh because it wasn't me.
He should be immune by now, right? Holy crap.
Strikes, you're out.
Yeah.
So
I think it's one strike and you're out. It couldn't have been direct hits, though, because I've actually seen what happens to people that it, like, cauterizes all your blood vessels. And
yeah, you pop. You pop like popcorn.
Yeah, no thanks.
Oh, crap. 9 Mills, welcome in.
What's up, man?
All right, so what's some other good stuff to know about the Campout? So here's a question that we get a lot. When can I show up?
Good question. We have people that show up as early as Monday, but that's people like, Baron, who actually literally come and actually work. We do have every once in a while some people who ask to come early to work, and they're more on the early side than the work side. So for what we've decided for this 10th anniversary is we're going to go Tuesday to Tuesday. So if anybody wants to show up on Tuesday, and we normally reserve that for people who are coming a much longer distance. Like if somebody calls me up or sends me a text message or an email, hey, I'm coming from Montana. Can I come a couple days early? I have no problems. It's a 3-day ride. So so for this camp out, it's going to be Tuesday to Tuesday. It's the 10th anniversary. We want people to be able to come and have a good time. So we're just marking the whole week that we're going to have visitors.
Last night there was a question about, it was on the duct tape stream. Somebody asked about the cops at Forgotten Angels. And I said, the only cop you got to worry about is Cindy. And you better be scared.
Yeah.
If Cindy comes for you.
There's one other cop. You got to watch out. You got to watch out for Aaron, Viking.
And Deidre.
Yeah, don't complain about the food in front of Aaron. You will not like his ads.
Yeah. So for those of you who don't know, so it's a paid event now. You pay to go, but everything is included. On that same note, remember that we're trying to feed and entertain and give everyone drinks. So we're not going to cater to you. We're catering to the crowd. Do not complain about the food. I remember, I think it was, so Aaron, Ron, nothing at random, they wanted more meat. And he's like, well, I got to save it for everybody. And she's like, well, I don't want any other food. I don't want the beans and the potatoes. I just want, I think it was turkey. And luckily, Gma was like right behind him. And she's like, you get what I give you. Keep moving. So maybe be scared of Gma too. But yeah, this is, I mean, I rarely eat, if I eat at the camp out, it's probably going to be something later at night and I'll eat what's left over. But I mean, it's like, you're paying not even a third, not even a quarter probably what you would pay at any other event. And you're going to get fed, you're going to get fed well. But don't come there and expect you're going to get steak. I mean, hell, you know what? We'll get a food truck there. Maybe, I don't know, but you're going to have to pay for that food. This is the food that we give you. And it's good. Don't get me wrong. That food is made with love. That food is made with love.
Find me a campout that does a seafood boil.
Yeah. I forgot about that. Yes, the seafood boil and what's the corn called? The street corn? I can't remember what it's called.
Street corn.
The street corn is
Mexican street corn.
Yes,
street corn.
The street corn is so good. I would go and pay just for the camp out and the street corn. The beer's nice. Oh yeah, you get all the beer you want, and trust me, we put some beer away. But yeah, that street corn was so good.
Yeah, the last 3 campouts we actually threw beer away to return the kegs empty.
I'll work harder this time. No, I think I worked pretty hard last time. Holy crap! But yeah.
You see, that's the problem. You weren't there the past 2 times, right? That's why they had to get rid of it.
Well, so Joe's saying, do common courtesy, police the campsite, pack up your trash. If you're a smoker, do not put your butts on the ground. And don't be afraid. Just because you're paying to be there does not mean you're still not a guest. Be prepared Saturday night after everybody starts clearing out. Sandy's going to come out and say, okay, let's pack up some chairs, grab some bags, let's pick up this trash. Yep. We clean that place. There's a lot of us that are up till 2 or 3 in the morning picking stuff up. We pick up the trash. Yep. And somehow there's more trash come Sunday morning and we're picking it up again. So
Don't worry, I'll be on the trash detail again this camp out. So
it's the cigarette butts that's the worst part, because you can walk over the same spot 5 times and still miss them. Every single camp out, we pick up cigarettes for weeks afterwards, and I'm not even exaggerating. It's weeks. We pick up cigarettes.
Yep. So if you're a smoker, find a butt kit. Don't throw your stuff on the ground.
Yeah, we're gonna have more of them for people to throw them away in, but. And I know a lot of people, it's not even conscious. It's just they when they're outside, they just normally flick them, Somebody, I don't know who it was, that had some balls, but they flicked the cigarette butt as I was walking. It landed right in front of me. And it was right in front of the stage. And I stopped and I looked over, and nobody wanted to fess up. It might have been the look on my face that did it.
The look alone.
Keith, welcome in. All right, so David, for those who don't know, how did you get involved in Forgotten Angels?
I was working with Quentin, Aaron, the actor from The Blind Side. We were traveling all over the country, speaking to kids that are being bullied. And, this was like Quentin had just finished filming the Blind Side with Sandra Bullock. And so there was a Thursday we just decided that we were going to go and go bowling. And so Quentin was like, hey, call Marissa, which was a mutual friend of mine and Cindy's. I didn't even know Cindy at that time. But Marissa called Cindy and said that Quentin, that she could bring some kids to meet Quentin, Big Mike from The Blind Side. So that was a Thursday. And so Cindy brought like her daughter, her best friend, Jennifer, and about like 5 or 6 kids that came to bowl with Quentin. And so I was talking to Jennifer. She was telling me about Forgotten Angels and Cindy and what she had done and da-da-da-da. And so the money that we raised, we kind of gave back to her. And then we did another event. Quentin had to go to California to film a couple movies and then to do some reshoots and stuff like that. And so Cindy had called me and asked me, could we do something else with Quentin to raise money for her charity. So we did an event called Seeds of Success, and we gave her all that money. But that first night, her friend Jennifer kept telling me about Cindy and her big heart and stuff like that. And so I was like, is she rich or something? And she goes, no, she's got a full-time job. She's got 2 daughters that she takes care of. And she just tries to help as many kids as she possibly can. So the last time that she asked me to help her, I said no, because her vision for Forgotten Angels was very small. She was trying to raise more money to get, phones and gift cards for kids. And that's just kind of not what I do. So I said, I'll help you raise some money, but, you need to find yourself somebody who can, grow your charity with resources that are available out there. And then she was like, how about you? And I was like, yeah, how about me? And so I said no again. But then I met up she asked me if I would meet her for coffee. And she started telling me more about what she wanted to do. But her vision had changed based on our previous conversations, because she wasn't housing anybody. She wasn't, getting apartments for anybody. She was literally, all Forgotten Angels was, when I first met her, was getting gift cards, cell phones, and then she did the Christmas, not Christmas, the graduation for Simmons Career Center. So she had a deal with Men's Warehouse to get the boys, and there's only like 8 or 9 boys that graduated their tuxedos. And then she also got, she kept getting dresses, donated for girls. That was literally all Forgotten Angels was when I met Cindy. So I told her that I would help her, but she needed to have a much bigger vision written down, because she didn't have anything. She didn't have a business plan. She didn't have anything that resembled what we are doing today. So when we met for coffee, she wrote down some ideas of what she'd like to do and stuff like that. And so 3 months later, we 3 months later we had an apartment, a house that was an old antique shop. And then 6 months later, we bought Forgotten Angels, where we have the campouts.
So do you still talk to her?
I'm sorry?
I'm just kidding. Just kidding.
Yeah.
So how's that working out for you?
Let me go backwards a little bit. Working for celebrities opened a lot of doors that remained open for Forgotten Angels. Hey, Lila.
Hi.
You can see you there. Maybe I should look at the phone a little more. So anyway,
I'm not here for a long time. I just wanted to pop in.
She's just here for a good time.
That's right.
So, yeah, so that's how I got started. And so, I mean, all the celebrity stuff was fun and stuff like that, but I much rather work with my wife than celebrities all day, twice on Tuesdays.
I would too.
Yeah, she's pretty cool.
Except for you. You're a celebrity.
Yeah, no.
I like working with you.
I'm the ape in this relationship.
So, David, where are you now?
I'm in Missouri.
Ah.
I'm in. Hold on a second. I'll tell you.
Yep.
Warrenton.
Oh, I actually know where that is.
Yeah, it's not too far from St. Louis.
Nice.
In fact, Cindy just sent me a message. I'll read it to you. It says, "I'm hoping you stop for the night if you're tired. I love and miss my husband."
Oh.
Aww.
That's all the messages I get. They all look alike, but different sentiment and the same heart. She's pretty amazing. That's why I stuck around. And that's why I stuck around and continued helping her. She won't admit to it, but it was partially her heart and partially the googie eyes.
It was all Google eyes. All Google eyes.
Let me tell you, if she's watching right now, she's pissed off. She's like, "That's not true." I'm like, "Is that right? It's true."
That's totally true. You know it is.
He knows it's true. She knows 100% it's true. Sitting there in the parking lot looking at me.
So what's... Oh, go ahead. No, I want to hear about Cindy.
No, that was it. She, what was funny was she acted like she wanted my help. And then I would call her and I say, "Hey, you want to meet on Thursday?" She goes, "I'm busy on Thursday." And I'm like, all right, well, how about Monday? Yeah, I'll let you know. She tried to play all this hard to get shit. I'm like, "Woman, I already know you're interested, so stop it." The games people play.
Wife unit says she sends messages to Joe that says, "Make it home or else." Excellent. I did not get to meet wife unit at the last camp out I was at, so I'm actually looking forward to that.
Well, I did. She's amazing.
Yeah, I didn't get to meet Joe's wife. So
Joe's wife.
Yeah.
Oh, Joe's wife is mad cool, man. I love her.
Oh, I know she's mad cool. I still haven't got to meet her yet.
Okay, yeah.
There's not, so I haven't got to meet Michael Holmes. Serenity Kitty I didn't get to meet.
I met him.
Julie Smith
when
I haven't got to meet.
Motorcycle.
Wait, hold up. Serenity Kennedy's a guy?
Yeah. David, last October he won a motorcycle, remember?
I know everybody by their first names.
Well, he was too drunk to ride, so he was just kind of like shell-shocked, and it was so cute. Because we're all like, "Oh my God, don't you want to like ride it across the compound?" Which riding a motorcycle there at night after you're a few beers in,
shit,
bad idea.
Bad idea, but watch
it. Really smart on his part to be like, no, I'm way too lit to do this right now.
I was waiting for the March before last, the dude that won the Triumph. That dude was blitzed, and I thought he was going to crawl on that thing and ride. I'm like, "Oh, let me back up." Luckily he said, "No, I've been. This will be a tomorrow project. That's for tomorrow."
Yeah.
He didn't, but
yeah.
If I would have biked there, you watched me get on a ride at night. Well, shit, I rode the BMW at night. That sounds like trying to ride a bull. Shoot.
I just got to ride my girlfriend's heritage home from. She had a medical emergency, so she was out riding by herself. She was in a traffic island, laying on her back. Some guy just very kindly went and checked on her and was like, "What do you need?" They called me, called her husband. He's like, "Well, I'll stay with you." She's like, No, I don't need anything. He called an ambulance. So the long story is I got to ride her motorcycle home for her. It had been lowered 2 inches. It was really weird, but super comfortable.
I'm gonna get to ride somebody's bike next spring. I'm gonna make a video about it.
You can ride my Road King if you want to. When you're down there.
I'm gonna make a video when I go to pick up your bike from the dealer. I'm gonna make a video like I'm buying a new motorcycle, and as I walk around it, I'm like, wait a minute, this bike looks familiar. Are you sure this bike's new? And I'll get the guy that works there. Oh yeah, this is the dealer incentive package. It looks like it's kind of like buying faded jeans. It looks like it's not new. I was like, hang on, what does this sticker say? What's it say? If I'm here, I rode. I've seen that before. Yeah, we had that made special. Yeah.
Yep.
So, for those that don't know, Gma's going to come visit me, and she's going to do an East Coast trip. So she's going to ship her bike here. I'm going to pick it up for her. But, yeah, I'm going to make a video like I'm buying a bike. That should be exciting.
But the important part is he's also going to come to the airport and pick me up.
Yes, I'm gonna Uber her.
Reunite me with my bike.
I'll pick her up on her own motorcycle. And I'll pick her up on her own motorcycle, and then I'll ride bitch on the way back.
No. I had envisioned you picking me up in a car.
No, I'm gonna pick you up on the BMW.
No.
Fine.
I don't do no.
Fine.
I'll Uber it.
No, okay. I'll pick you up. No, I'll pick you up.
I hopped on the back of a motorcycle with David just because he caught me by surprise, and it was so weird. I have not been on the back of a motorcycle for, I'm going to say, about 30 years. That was so uncomfortable. I mean, great safety and everything, but it's just like, you slow down, you go to put your feet down. I'm like, I'm not used to that.
Well, when I picked up Angel at the airport, I picked her up, and it was like 2 o'clock in the morning. Her flight was supposed to come in at midnight. It got delayed. So I pick her up, and I hadn't slept in probably 2 days because I drove down the night before, got to the Campout, and I kept having dreams that she was calling me to pick her up. So I finally went, like 11 o'clock, went to pick her up. And when I go to pick her up, I must have looked like an absolute fright. And so I picked her up, gave her a giant hug, and she's not used to hugs because she's Canadian. It's kind of like British people. And so then she gets on the bike, and I drive her over where her bike is and take off. Like the next day, I'm like, what was it like being picked up by some weird guy? And she's like, well, I saw you, and you were this big, bald guy, and I figured, well, he may take me down some back road and kill me, but hey, at least I'm in Florida now. So
some of us are used to. Never mind. That was going to come out a lot.
I was waiting for that to come out. Yeah, some of us are used to getting.
Go there.
Some of us are used to jumping on a bike with a guy and going down some back road. Okay, well.
Yeah. Fortunately, I have my own bike, and I can do that on my own now.
Yeah, but what about 30 years ago?
She was she was taking guys down roads.
Then, yeah.
Yeah, she was taking guys down back roads.
Yeah. Can I talk about my second favorite charity now?
Yes, you can.
Okay. I volunteer at a food bank, and we have coming up. We have a raffle type ride coming up in October. I volunteer at a food bank up here. So if anybody would like in the area up here, Pacific Northwest, would like to come to the cause, it's October 4th, and it's called a turkey run. We're not going to be chasing turkeys, but we usually raise the funds to supply about 400 to 500 turkey dinners to people that need help up here. So if anybody wants to contribute to that, send any messages about that, post any flyers on their channel, let me know.
I'm in.
Okay.
Send it to me.
A few years ago, I was helping this church. This is probably 12 years ago. It was before I met Cindy, but I was trying to find a place because it was right close to Thanksgiving, and most of the places didn't have any turkeys. And so I went into this one place, and I had a flyer with me because I was organizing a golf tournament for Tony Dungy, who used to coach the Bucks and the Indianapolis Colts. And the guy who had all the turkeys, he goes, do you know Coach Dungy? I said, yeah. I said, I've been going to church with him for like 6 years now. And he goes, how many turkeys were you guys trying to get? And I was like, I don't know, however many you can handle. He goes, what about 50? And I'm like, yeah, that would be amazing. He goes, I just want one thing. I said, what's that? He goes, Can you get me an autographed football from Tony Dungy? And I'm like, for 50 turkeys, I'm like, done. So that Sunday, that Sunday,
Yeah.
This is the difficult thing, because our Pastor Singletary, Coach Dungy is a celebrity, so he doesn't want people bugging him for stuff and like that, But I walked in there proud as a peacock with a football. I said, "Hey, Tony," I said, "How would you like to donate 50 turkeys?" And he's like, "What do you mean?" I said, "Well, you signed this football, and someone's going to donate 50 turkeys in your name." And he goes, "Where do I sign?"
That's cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah, he was really cool about it.
Everybody can say
It's
good night
pretty
to
cool.
Skittles. Skittles had to
Good
jump
night,
off.
Skittles. Love you.
All right, Skittles.
All right, Colleen.
So Scott, my
like-
boss, says he's in for your charity too. So make sure you share
Nice.
a link. Share a link to my Instagram or my Discord.
I will do
Throw it
that.
on my YouTube. Throw it down in the bottom of
Okay.
this. Throw it down in the comments
Okay.
of this video.
I will. We're
gonna
and
make-
if I suddenly,
make some shit happen.
Absolutely, I can make shit happen. If I have to bounce out of here really quickly to go get my friend at the hospital, though, I want you guys to know what happened. It's not because I don't love you,
Okay, we understand.
but I will definitely post that, and I
Kind
can
of
tell you
sounds like
there's
it. Sounds like you're making stories up just in case.
no, there's nothing cooler than watching a semi roll up and having to unload crates of turkeys with a forklift. And having people line up and giving food away at that volume, it is so cool. It just makes your heart happy.
Yeah.
I agree. Been there, done that.
Usually we have a toy run up here the first Saturday of December, and there's a couple thousand bikes in Olympia. And I always go to that for my Christmas thing. But my new Thanksgiving thing is the Bash Turkey Day giveaway. And that is just so wonderful.
I have a story to tell, and it's not about motorcycles or about the Navy, so this is weird.
Wow.
So I do charity 5Ks. I used to before I broke my neck. And one of the guys that I used to drill, okay, it does have a Navy story. He was in the Navy with me. So I'm like, you need to come do this run. It's the Lebanon Pumpkin Run, Lebanon Children's Hospital Pumpkin Run. And so he's like, well, he says, I'm going to run maybe the first half of it, and then I'll walk the rest because I'm not really good I can't really run 5K, I said, no problem, man. Just do what you can. And so I do my run, and I run the whole way, and I get a really good time. I turn around. He's like 2 or 3 minutes behind me running. And I'm like, oh, man, what, did you decide to, run the last bit in? He goes, no. He goes, as soon as I said, I'm going to go around this corner, and I'm going to start walking. And there was a little girl in a wheelchair, and she was holding a sign. And when I ran by, she says, thank you for running for me. And he goes, well, fuck, I'm not going to walk now. So he goes, I'm going to just run the rest of the way. So, it does something to you when you're helping other people. It's just, I guess
does.
not everybody's like this, but I
Yeah.
think the feeling of giving sometimes overwhelms any pain or discomfort that you feel. Because you can see, going down the Campout, you can look around, you can see these kids, you can talk to these kids, and you can feel it inside your soul that you're helping someone.
Yep.
And it changes your outlook.
When we gave out the turkeys, it was funny because it was at the church, and they had performers. They had these guys on stilts, and they had these jugglers and all this stuff. So there's a lineup where people can eat food first, and then they can get some clothes or books or whatever that was out there, and then they get in line to get their turkey. So we finished giving out all the turkeys. It's probably like 300 or 400 turkeys. And then, so we're all just, celebrating and winding down. And then about 20 minutes before we left, a cop shows up with a turkey. And he's like, and we're like, hey, you're too late for donating turkeys. And he's like, no. He goes, there was a homeless guy that was using it as a pillow.
Oh, God.
so he gave the guy $10 and took the turkey away from him.
Oh, my God.
I thought that was so funny. It was a big, a 15-pound turkey, too.
Was it still frozen?
Wow.
Yeah, of course it was.
That'd be a good way to thaw a turkey. It's a homeless chicken.
What was nice was it was nice that the cop gave him $10.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
he bought his turkey back.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. When we do the turkey giveaway, we do the turkey giveaway for people with houses, and we have a different setup that we do for people that aren't housed. Or I think the current thing that you're supposed to politically say is unhoused people.
Yeah, they're homeless.
Yeah, they're homeless. Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah,
But yeah, we have bags of food ready to give them too.
yeah,
Yeah.
don't,
Because you
don't
can't give them a
sugarcoat it. It
turkey.
makes it sound a
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
In Tampa, there's it stopped after because of COVID, but there's a restaurant called Donatello.
Uh-huh.
You lost him.
Yep. I bet the restaurant's name is Donatello's, though.
We lost you for a second.
So yeah, Cindy was calling in.
Oh,
So Donatello's they only open up at 5 o'clock. So every Thanksgiving Day, all of their staff shows up, and let me tell you, it's like a 5-star restaurant. They're all in tuxedos and the whole bit, but they open up around, I think, around 11 o'clock, and they do a Thanksgiving dinner for homeless people, for churches, for families that need it and stuff like that. And they usually account for between 800 and 1,200 people, and then people like myself and other former athletes, we actually bust the tables and wait on them and stuff like that, take pictures with them and the whole bit. And so
that's
the
cool.
last time I did it, they had 400 extra meals, and then they also had cakes and stuff like that. I went to Salvation Army. They wouldn't take it. They said, we won't take food that's already been heated. And I went to Metropolitan Ministries, which is the biggest ministry here in the Tampa Bay area. They said, sorry, we already gave out bag lunches. And then I went to Goodwill, and Goodwill said, we can't take it either. So they said, but up the street, there's a mission called the Good Samaritan Inn. And so, and I just had the back of my Tahoe filled with ham, with greens, with mashed potatoes, and these freaking cakes that are like probably $50 a cake.
Damn.
And when I walked in there was probably 30 or 40 people just sitting there waiting for food to come in.
Oh Lord.
So now, whenever we get extra food at Forgotten Angels, we bring it directly to the Good Samaritan Inn. That's like every week almost. We bring food up there, so that's kind of cool.
Well, that'll be our Friday. Let's do it. Let's do it on Friday.
Well, I can do it. Let me tell you.
Now I feel like I think God puts you in places you need to be and tells you stories you need to hear. So I think that'd be a great Friday ride. I mean,
Yeah,
let's do it.
We could do
we
stuff.
could find something to do. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, most people don't do as much as they can. Not because they don't want to. A lot of people just don't think to do stuff. Especially when you have a routine, whether it's a daily routine or a weekly routine. But my dad used to always say, "Don't do as much as people expect you to do. Do as much as you can do." And so that's the reason why I try to do as much as I can. It's always to honor my dad, But a Friday ride to Good Samaritan Inn with some food, everybody could throw a little bag and stuff like that. I promise you, there'll be people there waiting for it.
Yep. Well, we
So-
could make some sandwiches or something and take them. That kind of
Oh
stuff.
yeah.
Yeah.
There's a little old lady that does PB&Js, and she brings 2 boxes. We usually bring those to the Good Samaritan Inn also. So,
Yeah.
it'll be a fun ride. People would enjoy it.
Yeah.
And you can just ride in and drop it off. And all the people that stay there they're awesome. As soon as you say, "Hey, I got some food, I need some help," everybody will get up and come down and start helping to
Yeah.
bring stuff in. But it's pretty cool because they're so needy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know in the summer we work with the Emergency Food Network all year long, but in the summer we get a large amount of perishable food. And we
Yeah.
only have a certain amount of refrigerators. So, the food has to go somewhere. So we start
Yeah.
giving people like, do you want a half a case of this? You want a half a case of that? So we'll go find homeless encampments that we are comfortable going to because some of the places are not safe to go.
Mhm.
And so 2 of us will go out there and deliver a bunch of food. Like we have extra bread, meat, we know the kind of stuff that people that are hungry want to eat. And it's a matter of it would rot or somebody could eat it, there's really no contest there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cindy always gets pissed off whenever it gets below 50, I go out and I hand out blankets and coats and whatever I've picked up. And Cindy's like, "What are you bringing me for?" She goes, "Every time you stop, you say, stay in the car, lock the door."
Moral support.
Yeah, I was like,
Yeah.
I said, "You're coming for the good company. That's what you're coming for." But I don't let her out of the car. Yeah. I can't be watching what's going on and watching at the same time. Because a lot of times, I'll go up into like on an overpass. People will go up top and stay right underneath where the road is and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I can't. I'm not gonna have Cindy go up there, and when I'm up there, she's by herself down. So I'm like, just come and keep me company.
Yeah. I worked in a psychiatric hospital up here for 25 years, so I have a pretty good radar as far as going out in public and doing things like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, 99% of the people are grateful, gracious, appreciative, and stuff like that. But every once in a while, you get one person who's like, "Hey, give me something else," or
you have that one person that wants to stab your eye out. Yeah.
You get those a lot here. Like, you try to give away. So the guy I used to work for was driving in Memphis, and they seen a guy on the corner. He goes, "I'll be right back." So he drives and he comes back, and he brought him a value meal from McDonald's. And the guy's like, "I don't want that. You could have poisoned it." He goes, "Well, I thought you said you were hungry." He goes, "Well, you got $20 instead." And he's like,
"No.
I just bought you a meal. You just saw me drive out of McDonald's." And he's like, "Well, you could have poisoned it. I don't want that." So, I mean, I get it. At least be honest. Like, the dude in the meme that's holding up the sign that says "Need money for beer."
Yeah.
Be honest. But there's so many people that are needy. And the crazy thing is, the needy people aren't the ones most of the time, especially like here in Memphis. You see them, they're in nice clothes, they're in nice shoes, and they're sitting on the corner. And it's like, and I know you can get nice clothes sometimes, but it's like, if you go to a shelter, you at least know that somebody knows that they're homeless or they go there or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't know, not to feel a certain way about it, but because if I give to somebody that doesn't need it, I'm not giving it to somebody that does. And it's weird to try to even that out and try to figure it out. It's a hard puzzle. That's why I like Forgotten Angels. They need it. Where it's going.
Yeah.
And like
I know.
The food bank here in Memphis, we always give to that because that food bank goes to people who need it. It goes to these shelters. It goes to these homeless people. It goes to the boys' homes and stuff. It's going to a good place.
Well, you got to be careful about trying to prejudge stuff.
I know it's hard.
Like just today, I stopped in Kansas City and I met up with Craig Bonar. Craig's donated 4 motorcycles to Forgotten Angels, and so earlier in the day, I the GPS was going to take me a little bit north of that, but then I stopped for some gas, and then when I put the GPS back on, it had me going right through Kansas City. So I said, "Hey, I'm going through Kansas City in 2 hours. Want to meet for some barbecue?" And he's like, "Yeah." So we met for some barbecue, and I hate to admit this, but for the second time this weekend, I lost money. the first time was like $80, and today it was like $300. And I know where it was because when I paid, cause I asked Craig to come and meet me, so I paid for lunch, and it must have fallen out of my pocket at the table. Well, the lady who was bussing the tables, she was super sweet, She was like, "Can I get you guys anything?" And and she was working so hard, and I know for a fact that the money was at the table that she was bussing. I didn't go back for it. I just like, God was like, you know what, she needs it, and so I got to Walmart because I had to when at that same gas station before I went to meet with Craig, a guy on a Harley came up to me, and he's like, "Hey, you wouldn't happen to have a 2032 battery, would you?" And I'm like, I was like, "I might." And he goes, "What's going on?" And he goes,
"Dead fob."
Yeah, my fob's dead, and the store doesn't have any. And I said, "Did you try 000 and 111?" He goes, "Yeah." He goes, I had put in a number, but I can't remember what it is. He goes, "I've tried like a bunch of times." And so I was like, "Well, I have this second remote for my Goldwing." I said, "Let me see what it is." And it was a 2032. So I gave that to him, and he's like, he goes, "You're gonna give it to me?" I was like, "Well, if we start your motorcycle and I take it back, what are you gonna do? You told me you're going all the way to Nashville today. You're gonna have to stop like 2 more times. You're gonna ask somebody if I could borrow a 2032 battery so you can start your bike.
Every time you stop.
Get another one." Yeah. So when I stopped after the barbecue, I went to Walmart, and that's when I realized that I had lost the money. So I knew exactly where it was, and there was a bunch of guys that were in there also that left at the exact same time, but they were closer to the door. So I know that they couldn't have picked it up either. So whoever picked it up was either that lady who bussed the table or a busboy. So they got a $300 tip today.
Maybe they needed it. You know what really hits me in the cockles? A pregnant waitress. I will tip so big for a pregnant waitress.
My pregnant story was not so good. I remember giving this lady when I was in college $20, and then that same night I saw that she was arrested. She wasn't actually pregnant, and the little kid that was beside her was her niece, not her daughter.
Oh.
She was babysitting for her own sister, and so she was like double dipping. She would take the money, and then instead of like babysitting her at the store, she would sit in front of the Subway with a pillow saying, "You got any change?" And I had like $300 cash on me, and I saw like, well, I'm gonna give her $20. It was the best $20 I thought that I'd ever donated. And then the same night, I find out that she scammed me. I'm like, man.
No,
all right, lady, you got me good.
I've lost money to weird things before, but I've never felt bad about it. When I first got to Norfolk, I was in the Navy, and this guy comes up and says, "Hey, you got $20 I can borrow?" And I said, "Man, I just got paid. The smallest bill I got's $100." He goes, "Well, I can change it out for you in this gas station." I said, "Okay." I gave him $100. He never came back. And I was like, well, so I came from a small farm in Texas, and by no means was I stupid, but I was very naive. I came from a place that if a guy borrowed $20 from you, he might not pay you back for 2 years, but he'll come up to you one day and go, "Hey, remember that $20 I owed you? Here it is." So that's where I was from.
Yeah.
And but I remember thinking, well, I guess he really needed that money if he was willing to take it, because it must take a really desperate heart to steal money. That was my thought.
He was risking an ass whooping for $100.
But I mean, I don't know. So I mean, I guess sometimes you hear this a lot, and it's bullshit when you hear it. But somebody that really needs something, they'll end up with it. And if somebody's desperate enough to actually steal food, man, my heart bleeds for them. And I've heard some of these store guys, say, if somebody's trying to steal, $300 worth of steaks, okay, I'm going to go after them. If I see somebody stealing canned goods and bologna and cheese, I won't even turn toward them. I'll let them walk out, because that's a different kind of ache,
Yeah.
I prefer to just give. I was when I went to Hawks K. Doug had rented a place down. It's down in the Keys, and so there was me, Doug, and Shep, and it's the three of us. And so they went drinking and stuff like that. That's not my thing. So I went fishing, and it was almost like 11 o'clock at night. So I'm fishing by the boats because I know there's a lot of fish underneath the boats. And this guy comes out and he's like, "Oh," he goes, sir, you can't fish there. You can't fish there." And I'm like, why not? He goes, "Because I'll lose my job." So it was his job to stop people from fishing. So I reeled in my hook, and I had a little piece of shrimp on it. And so he goes, "Come over here." He goes, "This is a better place." So while I'm walking over, he's actually readjusting the shrimp on my hook, and then he put a little sinker on, and he goes, "Hey, just throw it right there," and he goes, "You'll catch something." And so I threw it in, and boom, I caught something right away. And I'm like, "Wow, man, thank you so much," And so we started talking, and he was telling me that he just started working there. His wife had just got there, and he had come over from Cuba on a boat, and there was like 13 other people on this little tiny boat. It was a makeshift raft. He goes, there was a storm the first night, and he goes, instead of landing where we're supposed to, we landed like really far away. and he's telling me all this stuff. And now he doesn't know me from squat. I don't know him from squat, but his story was like unbelievable. But it was true. I mean, my bullshit meter's pretty good by now. And he was just telling me what was going on. He goes, I'm trying to get my wife over here. I'm working, 2 shifts so I can get an attorney, so we can get her over here legally and stuff like that. And so I was like, well, how much does it cost? And he goes, well, I have 200. It's going to be around $1,200. And so I just continue to listen to the story, and then so now it's like 11:45, 11:50, and so I want to help you, and he goes, help me how? I said, I'm going to give you $1,000 so you can help your wife get over here. And then he starts looking around. He goes, is this true? And I said, yeah, it's true. I said, he goes, is there cameras here? Is there cameras here? He thought that it was. And so I gave him. So when I tried to sell him the money, I could only sell him $500 because I had never sold him money before, so it capped me at $500. So I told him, I said, listen, in about 15 minutes, I'm going to sell you another $500. And he's like, can I kiss you? I said, there's only one spot. You only got one shot at this, or I'm going to punch you in the mouth. so he gave me a kiss on the cheek and a big hug and stuff like that. And so I said, tell your wife, I said, because his wife didn't speak any English at all. I said, I wish you good luck. I hope you guys, make it and that you guys are okay. I said, you have my number now, because I needed his number, so I sent him the text message. And he sent me the paperwork from the attorney in a post like 4 or 5 days later that he was able to get his wife here legally. It was the last step. I was like, that's so cool. Now, he did try to borrow money again about 6 months later, and I said, sorry, dude, $1,000 per person per lifetime is my limit. But I wasn't going to tell Cindy about it, because I didn't want her to, be concerned, because it was my own money. But then I told her, I said, what, I'm going to tell her. And her response to me was, I trust you. If you thought it was the right thing to do, then I just trust you. So that's why,
Yep.
like the $300 today, I haven't told her yet because we haven't talked since then. But
well, you have now.
You have now, yes. If she's watching.
She might be watching. I don't know. She's sending me messages. So, but like I said, well, first of all, I don't keep secrets from my wife. I tell her everything. But that $1,000, it just felt like it was the right thing to do. I had plenty of the money. So I was like, I'm just gonna help this guy. And so it was nice to see that little message back that he actually used the money for what he said. Because like I said, he didn't know. We were just talking. There was no inkling that had money. I was sitting in a t-shirt, a ratty old t-shirt, and a pair of shorts. There's no way that he could know that I would have $1,000, let alone give it to him. But I told Cindy.
That is pretty cool.
Yeah. Well, her response was exactly what I thought it would be. We have that relationship where if it's wrong, then we'll deal with the wrong. If it's right, then it's great.
Yeah. My mom always said that it doesn't cost anything extra to be nice, and she wasn't always right about that, but it's not usually a choice that I regret making, to be nice to people. So
no, I never regret. It's you can call it an error in judgment if you don't get back what you thought you should, but if you thought you should get something in return, you were doing it for the wrong reasons to start with. When
I get a lot more than something in my hand when I give to somebody else.
Yeah, when I was working with Quentin, we were on tour, and there was myself, Leslie, who was our tour director, and then we had another guy who was helping out, and so we went as far as Memphis, and then Quentin had to fly from Memphis up to Detroit for an autograph signing with the actual Michael Oher, who The Blind Side was about. And so we had to go from there to Norfolk, Virginia, and then back around. And then Quentin was going to fly and meet us in New York City. And so we had just dropped him off at the airport, and we got onto the highway. and I saw a guy hitchhiking. Now we were in a Sprinter van, so we had plenty of room. So I picked him up and I said, hey, where are you going? And he told me where he was going. It was, in the same direction, but about 100 miles out of our way. So I told him, jump on in. He had a bunch of bags with him, and he's like, thank you so much. Well, he wasn't in the van for about like a minute or two, and Leslie and Chad came up and they're like, man, this dude stinks, man. We can't. I said he smells so foul because my sense of smell was not very good at the time. I almost had no sense of smell, so I was like, well, deal with it, And so and they were like, please, please. I said, listen, when we stop, I'm gonna tell him to go in the shower, go in the bathroom, and clean up a little bit, So I gave him a few dollars, and we went to a rest stop, and he had a shower and cleaned up a little bit. Then we drove 100 miles out of our way and dropped him off. And when we got to his place, he's like, he goes, thank you so much. He goes, I really appreciate it. He goes, well, actually, no, he didn't say thank you. He goes, I'll be right back. So he goes to open. We see the light come on. He goes through, and all of a sudden the light comes off, and we waited for like 5-10 minutes, and he never came back out. And Leslie and Chad were like, we're going to go knock on that door, man. We drove this guy 200 miles out of our way. You bought him 2 meals, and he never even said thank you. I said, sit your butts back down. I said, why did he have to say thank you? Do you think I did it for the thank you? Do you think the thank you makes up for 200 miles out of our way and then 2 meals? It does not. I said, I didn't do it for that. You guys need to start understanding why you do the right thing. It's not for that person. It's not for what they tell you or what they say to you. You do the right thing because it's the right thing to do,
Yeah.
And I think they both understood it. They were still pissed off because I wouldn't let them get out of the truck and knock on the door. But what are you gonna do? Fight him? Although Leslie probably would have fought him. She was a bulldog, but you do the right thing for the right reasons, and you can't start second guessing because I'm about 200 miles away from that restaurant in Kansas City. I'm not going back,
Yep.
And I even realized, what are the chances, that lady, would it be the right thing to put her in a position to lie to me and say I didn't pick it up, which would have been terrible, or to give it back to me, which would have been terrible.
Yeah.
There's no good outcomes for that person.
Yeah.
I'm standing in front of her saying, hey, did you find that money? When, she's looking at me and I'm like, I know you found it. I know you got it.
Yeah.
So I made the decision, and trust me, I prayed about it for a second. I'm like, God, what am I going to do with this one? And he's like, just keep going. She needs it, So that's what I did. So it is what it is.
I mean, and I get that, I waited tables a lot when I was younger. And if somebody came back to me and they said, hey, did you find such and such money that was left here? If I'd have been.
Oh, lost her.
You would figure the mic cut out once he starts
Oh,
yeah.
confessing something.
she's like, this one time
Yeah.
at band camp.
Yeah.
This one time at
I think
biker camp.
Yeah, he pissed me off, so I punched his ass. Is that what she was gonna say? I don't know. I hope she's not listening to me right now. I don't know. It's like, hey.
We can make up a story.
Oh, I'm
That's
gonna
what
make
you're
up a good
supposed
one.
to do, right?
I'll be thinking about this story as I ride.
Yeah, we gotta let you get back on the road. But so here in about a month, Forgotten Angels is coming up. You want to try to do this again in a month, David? Get on and
Absolutely. Yeah.
it'll be awesome. I'm looking forward to it. I've missed a whole year of Campout, so this is I'm itching. This is crazy.
Well, this is gonna be a good one. 10th anniversary, 10th Campout. We've got a lot of stuff planned. We've invited a couple celebrities. We haven't heard back from them all yet as to whether or not they're going to be coming, but we'll probably have some pretty good entertainment. But if not, then we'll do karaoke and we'll be our own entertainment.
If we don't have so this year, and so tell Cindy, I am offering to do kamikaze karaoke for $20 a song. Anybody can request a song for $20, and I'll do any song. Donate to Forgotten Angels, and I will be your jukebox.
Man, you call that suicide karaoke, not kamikaze.
Kamikaze karaoke.
Suicide karaoke. And the overwhelming amount of relationships and friendships that have been established over the last 5 years and 9 campouts today. Um, you know, it was my sister that really kind of made it ring true when I saw in a feed, my sister's like, "Hey, love you," and then I'm like, "Hey, how did you know? What? You know?" And you start learning how many people know people that you know that you didn't even know that they had even met yet, and they're friends. So I'm super grateful for that, and then I'm super grateful for my wife. You guys get maybe 10% of the good that she is. I get 100% of it. Every single day she finds 10 reasons to make me love her that much more every single day. And I have this shirt. It's funny because it says, "I love my awesome wife." And somebody said, "Oh, your wife bought you a shirt." And I'm like, "No, I bought this myself." I'm, over 1,000 miles away, and this thing here means something. I'm grateful for this. I wear it every day. I do miss some days. And it seems like the days that I miss is the ones that Cindy was like, "Hey, where's your ring?" But I'm grateful for all the friendships and stuff like that. And I hope that this 10th camp out will bring a lot more people for the first timers that will come. And I already know that they'll be welcomed, and they'll be brought into the fray. They'll be invited to sit around a campfire. They'll be invited to tell their stories, where they're from, what they do, how'd you learn about Forgotten Angels and stuff like that. So I have so much to be grateful for that we'd have to be here another hour. But I'm grateful for just so much. And the two guys looking at me right now are two of the bigger reasons why we love our camp out, because of the support that we get from you guys. And just very grateful.
Mountain Jet, I was just saying, the sheer volume of folks we talk to on the regular online that you get a chance to put a face to the name at the campouts is awesome. And it was like Key Fob. I'd seen him on the chats, I'd seen him in the Discord and stuff. And I'm walking around, and it was before the last giveaway when they gave away the Triumph. And I'm walking by saying, "Where you are? Who are you? Where are you from? What do you ride?" And he's like, "Oh, I'm Adventures of Key Fob," and I'm doing the live, and I go, "You're a Key Fob? Oh my God!" Because I've been wanting to meet you. And so of course Brainy's like, "Oh, he wanted to meet you too." And it's like, it's weird to meet somebody that you think and all of a sudden now you're like this. So it's I'll tell a real funny story. So in Memphis, I'm going around. I'm going up as a Harley dealer, and I'm talking to people about this camp out I'm going down to, and it's a charity. And they're like, "Oh, well, I know somebody that does a charity down in Tampa. His name is Shade Tree Surgeon. You ever heard of him?" And I said, "Yeah, we're friends." He goes, No. This is Shade Tree Surgeon. He's like a really big YouTuber." And I go, "Yeah, we're friends, man. He gives me hugs all the time. We go down there. He rubs my bald head." I said, "I was just at a camp out. We did karaoke together. We sang together." He goes, "Dude, stop it." Like, "No, really, I know him." And they're like, "No, you don't. You don't know him." And I was like, "No, I know him. We're friends." It's just weird though to when you can put a name to the face, and people, you're like you were saying, your world gets closed. You'll bump into somebody that knows somebody that or that and you still didn't know you know them. It's insane.
I had like about 10 to 12 people that came up to me and said, "Hey, you're David, right?" Now, of course, there's all of 4 black people at all of Sturgis. So
there's more than that.
No, I'm just kidding. But obviously, I stick out like a sore thumb. But like at least 10 to 12 people came up to you and said, "Hey, you're David," or "Hey, do you live in Florida?" And I'm like, "Yes." He goes, "Forgotten Angels?" I'm like, "Yeah." So that's kind of cool. Like I said, do you know how I met Key Fob?
No, how do you meet Key Fob?
One day I was doing a live stream, and all the boots that Steve had given us, remember?
Yep.
I said, "I'm gonna give some boots away." I said, "I got a pair of, like, I don't know, who needs a size 9?" And Crystal was like, "Hey, yeah, I got." And so I said, "I'm gonna bring some to you." And she couldn't believe it. She goes, "I'm in Macon, Georgia." I said, "I know." And so Cindy and actually, it was just me the first time. I drove all the way to Macon, Georgia, and gave her a pair of the boots.
No kidding.
She couldn't believe. She was like, "I swear to God, I didn't think you were gonna show up." And I'm like, "Yeah, here I am."
That's insane.
So and then Matt took me on this awesome ride afterwards, man. That was cool also. So we hit it off right off the bat. That was great.
You went up on the bike?
I actually trailered the bike. I can't remember. I was going past there, wasn't I, Matt?
Yeah,
was I going somewhere else?
There were a couple of folks you were taking boots to, and what you were doing, you were stopping in certain areas, and then you were riding the bike where you could, like where we had plenty of opportunity and places to ride. But what David didn't tell you is that they also brought me a pair of boots as well. Not just Brady. They gave me a pair of boots. And I've been wearing the Indian Ridges ever since.
I'm absolutely in love with them. Obviously. Joe says he makes it easy to find him because he has the most obnoxious shirts on that he can find. So, fair warning, if you see a bald guy before you think it's me, make him turn around because it could be Kifo. Just
look for this.
Look for this. Hell, you might be bigger than me now. You've been all over the place. Your little 5-minute videos are popping up everywhere.
Really?
Yes. All over the place. So, good job, you.
Thank you.
All right. So what's your final thoughts?
You guys have made all of what I do now possible. Y'all are bringing me so much peace, so much happiness. We're moving to Florida. We'll be in Brantford, Mayo area in less than 2 months. We're closing on the property at the end of the month, and being able to find what is truly going to bring us as people, as a couple, happiness is the most important thing we could have gotten from anyone. And hanging out with David and talking to him and kind of getting a feel for what we really enjoy in life. And basically being put to the wall and being told you have to live that life if you want to be happy. And happiness is all it's about.
Absolutely awesome. And man, I don't know how to follow that up. I'll just say, if you can be anything, be nice. Living a life of service is probably the best life you can live if you've got the heart for it. And the Bible says that you'll receive back what you give, tenfold. So it never hurts to give. I have never given money to any charity and regretted it. I've never missed that money because somehow any money you give just seems to kind of make itself back up. So, do an experiment. Give as much as you can and see if it even impacts you at all. Like a lot of people in the group say, that one coffee, that one sandwich, that one time you want to eat out, that's $20, $30. You'll never miss it. Go home and eat a sandwich. You'll never miss that money. Go home and make a good food. So donate when you can. And it doesn't need to be much. David, you always tell us $20 is a tank of gas that can go to help someone out in any way possible. So I believe that. We got to let David go. He's got to get back on the road. Yeah. Thanks for coming in and stopping on with us, and we'll try to see you in about another 4 weeks. All right, everybody. Like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell, and let's close out with old number 6.
Did it?
Let's see if we can find old number 6. Here we are. I said.
Here we are.
All right. So like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell. Me and Keepaw, we'll see you again. You want to be back next weekend? He'll be back next weekend. All right. All right, everybody. It's been a joy, and I look forward to seeing you next weekend.